Welcome back to the Jagged Edge, a special breaking edition. I can't believe we're recording 2 days in a row. It's been way too long since we've done this. Javal, how are you today?
Woke up to good news for the first time in a long time.
I mean, in relation to the Jaguars, sure. I mean, pretty sure there must have been good news outside of the Jaguars that has happened, but in relation to them, no, there really hasn't.
I'm surprised that it happened, but at the same, I shouldn't have been that surprised.
The
But at the
fact
same
that
time,
we recorded yesterday and I made it a big complaint that if we do draft a defensive end in the first round, that the big question marks are that we didn't pay Josh Allen yet. Not my take just comes cold as ice, not even 24 hours later. So I was like, okay, you know what? Fair play. I was angry. They proved me wrong. What can you say?
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where obviously I think the fan base is happy as a whole. The process itself was still not great because he probably should have just tagged Ridley, but I mean, it worked out better for Josh's sake. I mean, yeah, he got more money, so I don't think he's not complaining that they took too long to franchise tag him now because I don't think he really cares. Obviously, it would have been perfect if they would have were able to sign Josh beforehand, and then they could have kept Ridley. But in terms of Josh itself, very happy for him. So
In unnamed Jaguars media members said, well, the agents bent Trent Baalke over. He got more money, but at the end of the day, everyone is happy. So
I think Trent might be a little bit pissed off, but he paid what he had to pay. So
because if he didn't, oh my goodness, just already however pissed off Jaguar fans already are for him for waiting this long in the first place. Bare minimum. Now you got another hole in the wide receiver or corner, whatever you want to do in the draft. You gotta make it right. That's all you
yeah, I
gotta.
mean,
Yeah.
I guess going back to what we talked about yesterday, we'll really see. I mean, if they do, they could still take an edge first round. It wasn't. We weren't saying they're gonna do it just because Josh was on the tag. Really, just curious if they are interested in doing it more or less than because I feel they probably weren't. I don't think it really changed their draft opinions. So, but man, I really am happy for Josh's sake that he just got the bag, man.
It's all we really asked for at the end of the day.
Just pay good players. Not only that, but considering when he was drafted and even that draft itself, I mean, people weren't really expecting him to fall to us in the draft. I remember, yeah, it was 2019 draft. The Raiders took Cleveland Farrell, which oh boy, poor. And then again, I mean, we have our own draft bust, so I can't hate on them too much. But Raiders took Cleveland Farrell, and everyone kind of knew that was bad. Bucks took Devin White, which Devin White was a good prospect, but he's not with them longer. Giants took Daniel Jones, which yeah, so none of the teams that should have taken Josh Allen in the draft took him and then he fell in our laps. And now they just extended him. So I'm just glad for Josh's sake, man. I'm so happy for him.
Oh, and I guess the Jaguars will go live after all. The reason why I wanted the screen share was to I guess we'll just do a live reaction. I mean, nothing really else is there to say except, hey, they paid Josh
The
Allen.
vibes aren't terrible. He said
It's
I have two
slightly
weeks.
better.
It's 2 weeks of good vibes before I draft another linebacker.
They're limiting the conversations. I wonder why. We can't make a comment right now, which is ridiculous, but what can you do? I guess we'll just wait patiently for this to begin.
Yeah, man, just very excited, happy, really happy for Josh. And now I'm really excited just to see. Now that I know that Trevon will have a long-term running mate, both Josh and Trevon, just seeing how they can be here for years to come. Because, it's 3 more years for Trevon under contract. Josh is under contract now. Really excited to see how that long-term duo develops next from across from each other. Because, now we have a long-term duo, still young. I mean, Josh is in his prime. Trevon's just scratching the surface. So I'm just so excited to see what they'll both look like in years 4 or 5. And you know, when Trevon's closer to his contract ending, how he'll look because I think it'll be really exciting to see them play together for a while.
For sure, for sure. And just at the end of the day, it doesn't change your draft plans really, because that's all we talked about yesterday was just draft plans. But it's just the security of having your best defensive player paid, like, you know, within 24 hours, like you said, we said it before, the vibes are just a lot different now that you paid your best defensive player. So now you have like I think 28 million or $30 million in cap space now. If
Close to
you did
28.
want to go for a big wide receiver, like
Well,
the
I
only
first
two.
want to say thank you for everybody coming on the show. No, it's not
Oh,
about the timing of this deal, because there's a lot of talk out there about, hey, this deal could have got done, last season, before last year, middle of last year. Were you just sort of content? Were you at all content to just let your performance ride and let the chips fall where they may, or what? Good things come to those who wait. For me, it was just to see, when that right opportunity is gonna come and just maximize the value that I could bring. And
John, can you hear the audio on your end?
yeah. Can you hear it or no?
I don't think I can hear it, so I'll just be quiet. Probably the for the stream.
Over and over. You wanted to
Can you
play
hear
at
it now?
Jacksonville, you wanted to be a Jaguar. How does it feel now that
Yeah, I
this
can hear it perfectly.
All right.
man, I'm first of all, I want to thank God, first and foremost, believing in Him and trusting Him. I got my babies in the back. If y'all hear crying in the back, it's okay. I'm not ashamed.
Daddy got the
They
bag.
get my babies, and I love them. They can do what they need to do. They're good babies. I love them. But first and foremost, I want to thank God for blessing me with the talent and blessing me with the dedication and the mindset and putting people in my circle to help lift me up when I wasn't feeling, you know, feeling up to the task. So I'm blessed. I'm humbled. Just too many words in my head is going on that I want to say, but
can't really express it, right now, but, in due time, I will, express how I really feel and, I want to cry because I'm so happy. I remember going back to my college days and figuring out if I want to go back to school or not. And I remember talking to Coach, Coach Stoops at the time. And, this is the first time I heard generational wealth. And, not knowing what that word meant, not knowing the value of it, to knowing that I just had my son, I want to be with my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, for the rest of our lives, and just knowing what that really meant. And I took a bet on myself, gamble on myself, and it paid out, became a first round draft pick, 7th overall. Fortunate to come here. And then, seeing the things through and not knowing that it's not the first contract, it's the second contract, and knowing that, I reached that point and I maximize on being patient, staying humble, staying on the grind, and staying dedicated to what I do. And so I'm very emotional right now. But the job's not done yet. That's why I want to tell the fan base, like, I'm extremely blessed and honored to get this paycheck or to get these checks, but I have to, I still set goals for myself. Our defensive player of the year is my next goal. Winning a Super Bowl, being the MVP of it. I told you I'm a legacy guy. I know I'm rambling. I'm gonna ramble. I'm a legacy guy. Like I told myself a long time. And when I look back at my legacy, I look at my family. My sister has won a professional championship, so she's up on me. I think about this all the time. I know I'm super competitive. So I got to win a Super Bowl and be the MVP, and I could be up on. And I'm not gonna stop until I get to that. So, that's motivate me. That's bigger than money. So for me, if I could do that and bring the first one to Jacksonville, man, I would be, extremely and be MVP. That's my goal. I'm not stopping for everything.
Other than that kind of stuff, what do you have to do to kind of live up to the pressure that comes? Other than,
I mean, again, like I said, doing what I do that got me here in the first place. Yes, OTAs for me, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it's the value that individual time that I have, that I can maximize my value and come back with the purpose to come back physically in shape and mentally in shape, that, I can go and perform at a very high level, and it worked for me. And so for me, why not do what got me in there in the first place? I know it's probably, oh, he's not voluntary, he's not here. My teammates know I love him. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know I'll do anything for them. They know I'm one phone call away. My sons, are playing sports on the weekends. I'll fly back every week, to see him. So, the dedication to not only myself, my craft is very important, but my family and my relationships are also very important as well. So, if I can value, like my wife told me, it's staying to the grind, staying focused, and doing what got me there. And because I believe that I'm one of the best defensive player in the National Football League. And if I can show it last year, and if I can keep proving it and doing what got me there, if I can stay confident, stay healthy, and obviously we keep getting better. We just signed Trayvon. Trayvon called me and he said he had a day off, but he wanted to go work out, because I motivated him, like seeing what I got motivated him. So it's like, to have a guy like Trayvon keep getting better and better and better each year, it's only gonna make me want to have to get better, because I got to be the best player on this team. So I'm always competing with him. He knows that. And then we got added Eric Armstead, who I'm in all about. I'm excited for him. Excited. He's going to be a great asset to this team. Can't wait to get to work with him. Can't wait to rush with him and against him to get to the quarterback. And it's going to push me to have that sense of urgency. And I'm excited for that.
Eric, I think you guys have the same ages, and just, what will that dynamic be? You, Eric, Trayvon, Roy, all these guys. How much better are you guys now with this line?
First and foremost, you got to see how the lineup's going to be. I think that's important. You brought him here to play a lot. You just re-signed me to play a lot. Trayvon just come off a 10-sack season, who's only progressing. We have Roy, we have D-Ham, we have Adam. We just signed Jeremiah back. So you see the tools and the pieces that we have. And so it's just first of all, how are we gonna rotate that, how are we gonna do that? What are we asking everybody to do? And then like going out there, once we have that front, oh, this is what we're looking at. Or I know Coach Nielsen is a defensive line guy. If you want your best player to rotate inside, I've shown that I can play three tech on a guard that's, everybody's getting that football league, but you know what I mean? Trayvon can go, Eric can go inside, outside. Roy had some outside stuff, so we can, rotate and see where everybody best fits. I think that's important, and I think that's priority number one. But then also, obviously, rushing with the guys and knowing what everybody's schedule was is very exciting. And yeah.
The last 24 hours, when did you get the call, that the deal was done? Promotion.
Obviously, I was, every part of in the negotiating stages of this. So I was kind of up to date with everything and knowing that we were getting closer and closer. A little, knickknacks that we wanted to get, they wanted to get. So just negotiating that part. But it got real, when I don't know when it got real when we was like, we're there. We're happy. We're never satisfied, but we're very happy with what we had in front of us. And I went through a lot of emotions. Like I said, I'm very emotional right now. I'm kind of doing a good job of keeping my composure. I know once I start talking about my wife, it just, you don't know how much she's helped me throughout my career. And I don't want to get to that point right now. But it's very real, but very, very, like what you said, how do you hold up to this expectation? So for me, it's to get back in that lab, figure out or get back to doing what I do, training with the purpose, training with the mindset of that I am the best. And if they want to, we got a big target on our back. I think we've always have, especially now you look at our division, it's gotten a lot more competitive, which I love, which brings a lot more national media to our division. When you look at every team has a primary quarterback. Now you look at the receiving core, you look at the offensive lines, you look at the running back room. Everybody's competing for the AFC South. And, I still believe we're top dogs and, and I'm going to believe that. And, in my mind, the best defensive front is going to win these games. And I feel like we have a great opportunity to be the best defensive front in our division, which is going to lead us on to bigger and better things. So, I'm excited to get the word. I'm excited to be around the guys again and know that this part is done and over with. And now is to how can we win a Super Bowl? But how can we I'm ready to compete.
What is this contract and commitment mean to, your family?
I mean, it's huge. This is our, we talk a big about legacies and roots. And not to my home, but everywhere that I went, I left an impact, and started back in high school, just living, starting off really slow in high school and then, progressing to being a two-star recruit, just feeling like I had a lot of doubters on my back. And then going to my high school, my senior year, leading the state in sacks, my first year playing defense, knowing that I'm capable of playing at a very high level, going into college as a two-star recruit, like I said, and then building my way up to becoming, the seventh pick in the draft, winning every national defensive player award, to always proving myself wrong and to now when I go back, it's home when I go back to Lexington. So leaving that legacy there that will never be forgotten. And then coming here to Jacksonville, 2017 was a year they almost went to the Super Bowl. Almost doesn't count. They had a great team, Jacksonville, great defense, offense that was progressing. And then you move on to 18, they didn't have success. I came in at 19, we 6-10, told myself we can't get worse than this. Not understanding NFL and then winning 3 games the next 2 years. And then go through we go to the playoffs and just this is real, like these are raw emotions that I'm giving you guys and I'm honest. That like leaving, like, what can I do to leave an impact? And, last year was me figuring everything out. I know everybody talks about, oh, the contract year, he was extra motivated. For me, it was figuring out life. When you get thrown all this money, you get not thrown a family, but you build a family at a very young age. Nobody gives you a guidebook and say, hell, this is life. This is what you want to do. This is how you handle it. When the kids get old enough, you got to take them to this school. You got to pay these bills. You got to do tax. So it becomes a lot. And the faster you can manage and handle these, so you can just focus on football, and is the better. And I feel like, my wife and I, we have grown, we have grew so much throughout these years. And, we thank each other every day that we didn't stay where we were whatever year in the past, because we still need to grow today. But, this is something that we need to build for now for us, with our kids. So it's just very special to leave a legacy. Again, let me get back to that. So last year, breaking the single season sack record, wasn't because it was a contract year. Thankfully, it was a contract year, but if it was 2, 3 years ago, I would have done it. You know what I mean? But it's just figuring everything out and putting the pieces together, building that confidence back up that I feel like I lost because I didn't live up to expectations that I know I could. So it's investing in the hair, investing into your body a little bit more than what you usually do, and being okay with the results that come with it. So for me, it's all right, that worked for me. Let me do it again. And so, I found out what works for me. I found out my plan. I found out my schedule. And, again, I thank God every morning, every night, and before I eat, that I'm thankful. I am a humble servant under him, and my kids will be, and my wife is, and my whole family is. And, I can't thank God,
How supportive the Jaguars fans been through this whole process?
Oh man, I gotta say one again. Man, it's kind of hard to stay off of social media, but I try to do my best, and so I'm not gonna say I didn't read a lot of comments or concerns about what we were doing. You know what I mean? It's definitely hard, negotiating. It's ups and downs. It's dang, they didn't feel like this. Oh yeah, we're going already. Like dang, so it was a bit of an emotional roller coaster. And then seeing that the fans really wanted me back. They knew what type of player I was on and off the field, man. So just having that local support behind me, I think helped. So shout out to all of Duval. They know I love them, and they know even when I remember sitting in one of the games and somebody say, "Josh, you gonna do something?" A couple years ago, I didn't let that hold me back. I want to use that for motivation. They got me where I am today. So thank you to whoever that was. So, okay.
Josh, the team showing their belief in you, saying you're the guy, but a couple years ago they drafted him today. Just what does that mean to you?
It's special. I mean, this is my legacy. This is something that I built. It's something I work every day for. Something I'm honored to be a part of. I told myself when I got drafted, I had 2 instances. I told myself everywhere. I told myself in Kentucky, I wanted to coach Stoops. I want to be the best player you ever coached. I wouldn't tell my rookie year, 2-star recruit, didn't know what a 2-point stance was, didn't know what a field boundary was, but I knew what I wanted. And I can argue that question, with him. I think I am, but that's his opinion. And then coming here getting drafted, I wanted to be the best defensive player to ever come out of Jacksonville history. And my I got 5 more years to keep stacking and stacking and stacking. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited for it. And whoever tries to come get my record, it's going to be a very tall task, and I'm going to make it very hard for them. I'm extremely blessed. I know I'm 10 sacks away from leading franchise history in total sacks, I think. And Tony Brackens, who's become a big mentor of mine throughout these years. And just to know that, I'm right on his heels, man, is a blessing. And Pascal who was another mentor of mine coming in, to knowing that I did that, was huge. And then now it's Tony. I'm gonna get emotional again, but I'm gonna say that to my wife and I. Thank you guys for coming again. I appreciate all your.
Congratulations.
I mean, what else is there to say?
That point, him just talking about his kids and how I was gonna cheer. Oh, just what a guy. What a guy.
And the fact that he also acknowledged us as fans, like, like, it's hard to kind of mute the noise whenever, the fact that he also mentioned, yeah, his family, happy for him, 3 kids, he got paid, and also acknowledging us too about how we stuck through him through the hard times, even like the one fan that heckled him. That got a good laugh out of me.
Him talking about 3 wins in 2 years.
Yeah, because us as fans, we have that moments too, please do something, or, don't fuck up. At least he's one that acknowledges it's part of the game, so the fact that he has that mentality, it's gonna make me even nervous when it's time for. It's way too far ahead, but Trevor, he might be the $200 million man in Jacksonville if all goes well next year.
Hopefully he plays well enough that we don't care. So that will be fine giving him that much money.
Because we want it to happen at the end of the day. We just want this future, this franchise to be in the best shape it possibly can be.
I'm happy.
I know
I
it's making me believe again, and I hate it.
I hope is a dangerous thing. Don't
but
have hope.
but also our best defensive player got paid, so it's hard not to avoid this feeling right now. Honestly though, that's Josh Allen basically said what we all just wanted to hear him say. Honestly, his family's happy, wife's happy, fans are happy, and he acknowledges that. You got any final thoughts?
Just him talking about even when Nielsen was saying, "Oh, his best players will play more inside as well." I think that's really excited because Josh saying that he could play 3 tech. I think talked a lot about Javal on 3 tech, but seeing Josh pretty interesting as well. So I mean, it's parts of just I'm excited for him to just take the next step, and now he's new situation, not new situation, but new DC, probably the best pass rush probably the best pass rushers he's had alongside him. So the fact that he knew he was 10 sacks away from his breaking the career high, that told me everything I need to know. Where yeah, okay, he's gonna be locked in on he's going to break the record this year. As long as he's healthy, he's breaking the record.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm
been a long
looking
time
forward to
coming.
that.
He's going to break that Tony Bracken's record for a long time. So God forbid any injuries, but please, Josh, let's get to that mark. By like, I don't know, week 6? Wouldn't that be nice? I'm just kidding. We're not doing that right now, but hey, happy man. He'll probably get some reduction on the field too, since he got some new help in there too. With Gibson, Armstead, maybe Abdullah if he gets more in the field like we talked about yesterday. Maybe,
Anything's better than
yeah. No, no, no. We're not bringing back any bad vibes. He's not here. We don't have to say his name anymore. None of that though. Hopefully. But Javal, great emergency pod. I'm a lot happier than when I started just hearing Josh talk about everything. So anything else you want to say before we close out this emergency pod?
I think that's mainly it.
All right. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll come back next week. I have to find a guest still, so I'm gonna do that right now while this is processing.
Take care, everyone.
Love you, Javal.